Hey, it's E with the reality, and I'm back with another video of Love Island USA, Season 8, Episode 32. Unfortunately, we are getting down to the wire with Love Island. It feels like this season was like over in the blink of an eye. I cannot believe we only have basically two episodes left tomorrow and Sunday. Um, so I have been missing on a few episodes. Unfortunately, I was a little busy, so I did not get to do my reviews. So just kind of touching base over some of those before we get into tonight's episode. I do want to talk about the whole um Zach wanting to be exclusive with Kata. And of course, Kata was like really excited about this because he wants to be exclusive outside of the villa. I definitely feel like at this point, there's no other bombshells coming in, so everyone is basically closed off with who they are. So I really don't even feel like some of these conversations had to be had. But with him wanting to make it solidified outside the villa, I guess I don't know, like that whole situation is kind of because I do definitely understand Kata being like upset once she took it to the girls, because of course she took it to Trinity first because that's one of her good girls. um and um of course the first thing Trinity said was like, oh, so you're in a situationship, and Kata was like, it is not a situationship. So of course that hurt Kata's feelings. um and then when they went to their fun day activity, when they went to the water park, and she told the girls that they were exclusive, and she immediately was like, it's not a situationship. And some of the girls were like, I don't know, it's kind of confusing. Like, what is exclusive? Like, what does that mean? And I can understand that because it's like, what is the point of being exclusive with someone if you're not actually boyfriend and girlfriend? We're going to do all the things that boyfriend and girlfriends do. I'm going to give you all my attention and not see other people, but I'm not going to have the label as your girlfriend. It's it can get kind of tricky. And then if he does go and do something else, then he can always be like, well, we weren't boyfriend girlfriend. I don't know. But I do understand, in that moment she's happy because she definitely wants to date Zach. And so she felt some type of way. So you see her crying a little later in the episode to Zach because she's just upset that, Trinity is her good girl, and she was just really upset by her calling their situation a situationship. Um, in the same episode, we have Casey asking TT to be his girlfriend. And I was just like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's like because they waited so late to maybe close off, people didn't have a chance to say closed off because after Casa, no one else really came back except for Amora and Carl, and those people weren't explored outside of Anaya exploring Carl. Um, so you never really had the conversations of close off. So I don't know if that's why people decided they want to be girlfriend boyfriend. I don't know, but I just like I still feel like Bryce and Trinity should have waited to be girlfriend and boyfriend when they came home. But I do understand theirs a little bit more because they did have more time together. When I look at Casey, I'm like, she's older than him. I don't know. I do see that they're kind of like goofy. Like, I don't know. It's still something a little off to me about their relationship. But of course she says yes, and she's like, you're gonna make me cry. And he was like, basically he normally liked to play games. So I'm like, so you knew in a week that you didn't want to play games no more with her. Whatever. We're gonna roll with it. I mean, I know the people gonna see. Yes, I do have the core four. I do like the core four. I do. TT has grown on me. Kenzie can be thrown away in the trash. Um, but TT has grown on me, so I can be like the core four plus one. Um, because I do feel like she has integrated with the girls really well after the introduction was not so well. Um, so that's kind of where we left off in the previous episode. So tonight's episode, it is Family Day. So we pick up the episode where Kata pulls Trinity for a talk, and they're talking about the whole situationship. I was glad that Kata did pull Trinity because if you call that your good friend, you want to be able to communicate with her, because if you don't say anything, you're gonna walk around with resentment towards her, and you're going to have these built up feelings. So it was good that they were able to squash that. And Trinity, at the end of the day, she explained her point of view of what that looks like, but it may not mean that for them. And that's all that she can go off of. And basically, if you like it, I love it. That's really where all of this stuff boils down to. If you like it, I love it. Because it's not my situation. So I don't have to navigate it for you, and I don't have to get a headache of trying to navigate it for you. So I was very happy to see them talk things out. Um, Everyone's getting ready for bed. They're congratulating TT and KC. You have Carl and Anaya laying in bed, and he pretty much just tells her that she's a great person for her to be able to congratulate them and be happy for them after everything that she went through. And I'm like, right. I'm like, people just want to make Anaya the bad person so bad for everything. And we'll touch on that with the conversation she had with her mom. But yeah, so people are like, oh, she wasn't happy for them. Did you see her face? Girl, I'm sorry. Casey, he is cute. He's a handsome man, but you can tell he has a lot of growing to do. And she appears to be with someone that looks to be a full grown man, because all that, again, the way I'm set up, and I think she's a Virgo, I'm a Virgo, it wouldn't work for me. It won't work for me. I do like to joke, have fun, but like it gotta make sense. They literally laugh at every other second about, and I be trying to figure out what would be funny. Like they look at each other and they laugh. So, but hey, that's their relationship. It would annoy me. But the next morning, excuse me, Bryce goes out and he sees there is a cart. And on the cart, it says it is family day. He immediately goes back in and lets everyone know, like, hey, it's family day. Everyone is like super excited, jumping out of bed. They run outside so they can see the cart. And so, yeah, so everyone's just super happy that they're going to be able to see their families today. Their families are going to get to come in the villa. So we started, they're getting dressed, of course. They talk about how nervous they are, some a little bit more than others. But yeah, I think anyone would have a little bit of a nervousness, again, because you haven't been there, you haven't been able to call your mama and be like, girl, let me tell you about this boy I met. So everything is playing out on TV. I feel like we started off with a bang because we got Trinity family and we got Bryce's family. So Trinity has her mom and her sister, and Bryce has his mother and grandmother. I personally was like, I feel like the grandmama could go on Love Island. The way she had me cracking up. Bryce's grandmama had me rolling. I was like, I'm like, dude, get Bryce grandmama. Do somebody get grandma. Do somebody get Bryce grandma. When she called out that turtle tongue, I hollered. Kenzie was like, I don't even remember what Kenzie said, but she was trying to fix it real quick. Bryce was so confused. And when his mama said, oh, he said, oh yeah, you haven't seen, you haven't seen that. The mama said, oh, maybe you shouldn't. I was dying. I said, leave it up to the grandmama. The grandmama is gonna fuck it up every time. But it was a good fuck up because grandma was a key. I said, let's keep her. So they talk. The family sit down. They're pretty happy for them. Um, Trinity's mom tells her once they like separate that she's really proud of her because just because how does she say it, like how you may have thought you wanted your person to be and how you visualized your person to be. um Obviously it may not have you may not have had that, you may not have met that person or whatever, something along those lines. Look, I'm tearing it all up, but very basically in a nutshell, she was saying that you know you have your mind on something that you think that you want, not knowing that you can open your mind to find something else that's totally different what you had your mind set on of what you thought. And I was like, that's true. And I actually bend a little bit on because again, I've been up and down with this whole Bryce and Trinity thing. Because I do feel like sometimes I'm like, do they still are they really still figuring it out? And I do, again, I love the fact that Trinity, and I would say that part of the reason that Bryce could be 3 years old and be okay with talking to Trinity because Trinity is very mature for her age. She just really is. Like when I hear 22-year-olds talk sometimes, and you're like, oh yeah, you're 22. But if you sit and listen to the things and how in tune she is with her own emotions of how sometimes dealing with other people, and even like she said with Bryce, sometimes he gives her a different look on how things may be. Like, hey, did you look at it this way? And I'm like, for her to already be in that space to be able to receive that type of information is great. So I kind of was like, okay, I could see it a little bit. I could see it a little bit. Of course, they kind of take them around the villa a little bit. Everybody takes pictures, and they go about their merry way. Next, we have Anaya's mom. And we have Anaya's mom and her sister. First of all, Anaya's mom, I was like, "Are we sure that's our mama?" I thought it was two sisters. I thought there was the three, like they was the three musketeers. Like all three of them was sisters. So, and you can tell she definitely probably got her height from her dad because again, her dad's a professional athlete. So the fact that she's taller than her mom, I thought that was so cute. Well, both her and her sister are taller than their mom. But I thought her sister was gorgeous. We're just a really pretty family. And I think even when I saw her, I was like, that's her mom. Because I think I saw a video of her mom either on TikTok or Instagram or something. I was like, her mom looks so young. Um, but yeah, pretty family. Um, Carl's sister and mom came, and I'm his mom. I mean, first of all, they look like they might got some money. Which again, it's not like she need his money because she got her own money. But he looked like he lived the type of lifestyle like she lived. So they look like they live in the same lifestyles. Unlike KC. Sorry. Um. So I thought they were really cute together. Again, both parents seem to be okay with their relationship. Um, they both praised each of them about, and they talked about, of course, when Carl came back and so on and so forth. And then, of course, they split up. So you have Anaya's mom talking to her, and she's basically like, "Girl, why did you not pick him?" And so again, Anaya, and again, I completely understand why that would have been a difficult decision for her. Because again, you spent time building something with someone over weeks, not a few days. So just to be like, I'm throwing that away because we've been building, to then, yes, you seem like you are perfect. You seem like you cross all, you check all the boxes that I have, but it's still that I've been building with this person over here, and I would hate to just. But anyway, so I do understand her reasoning. Um, but her mom was just like, "Girl, of course that was a bad decision." But at the end of the day, it ended up working out. We don't got to dwell on that. I do find it interesting. I'm kind of a little bit understanding of her mom's point of view on this thing, of her telling her, like, basically, you're not being a good friend to Melanie. Um, I don't think it needs to be put in those terms of not being a good friend, because not you can support your friend in any decision that they make, because at the end of the day, you're not twisting them to do anything. And so even later on in the episode, when you have Trinity and Anaya talking again, nobody knows 100% what this dynamic is between Melanie and Sincere. So I did not 100% agree with her mom putting that on her plate to carry, because at the end of the day, Melanie is going to do what Melanie wants to do. Like, I am a grown ass woman, and I have literally the same conversation with my niece. It had to get to a point to where I just had to be like, I'm not talking about it anymore. Whatever happens, happens. And then when you're ready to walk away, then we'll be here. That's the only thing you can do. Because it seems like, and my mom used to say this when I was younger, but I definitely realized it now that I'm older, is that the more you continue to try to tell somebody, no, they're bad for you, they're bad for you, they're bad for you, you push them towards them. Opposed to just being like, you know what? Okay, we had this conversation. I told you where I stand with this. I told you what I see in this. I don't think it's good, but I gotta let you figure it out. That doesn't change the relationship you have with that person. You can still support that person. You can still, all the things. So that's why I was just kind of like, I get what her mom is saying, but I just didn't 100 agree with her putting that on her plate to be like, you're being a bad friend. Because at the end of the day, Anaya cannot change Melanie's opinion. And it's not like Anaya didn't tell Kate, Sincere. Now, they probably didn't get in his ass like they should have, but it's not like she just was like, "Oh yeah, you did everything right." She did tell him, like, you messed up big time, pretty much. Um, so, um, yes. So next up, and then of course Carl and his, his mom and sister talk, and they just talk about how much they, like Anaya, and um, that they're happy that they're, you know, connecting pretty much. Next up is TT and Casey. So we have Casey's mom and his sister, and we have TT's mom and her cousin. Um, really sure what to say about this one because it almost reminded me of of Chris last year. Like how everyone thought when his mama went in there, like she was gonna be like she is not the one for you, so on and so forth, and that is not what we got. But I did find it interesting, like they sit down and they let everyone know, like, oh, we are boyfriend and girlfriend. And they're like, oh, it just seemed like a little fakeish. Because I mean, I don't know. I feel like TT's family probably thinks he's corny. And then I don't think that Casey's people is feeling her. I'm sorry. I just don't. So, they were like, oh, okay, you got a man. And that's what the cousin was saying. Girl, you got a man now. You don't got no boy. You got a man. So, but I said maybe it's because he said his mom is, um, what did he say? His mom is, a woman with so little words because the mama didn't have hardly nothing to say. The sister was, I think y'all cute. I think your personality is finally we get to see your personality, and I'm like, oh. Like what? Because he just like I don't. Is there a joke? I don't even be hearing the joke. Is there a joke and we're laughing, or are we just laughing just to be laughing? I mean, I don't understand. So we're like, oh, we can see his personality. I'm like, but is he a jokester? Because every time I see them laugh when they're on camera, there's literally nothing funny being said. They're just laughing at each other. And again, I'm someone that likes to have banter. So I like to talk shit. So I can do a little back and forth and we have a little kiki and blah blah blah. So I mean I get that aspect, but I just be like they sit down eat and then for some reason, and I hate to say it, but when they were sitting after their whole thingy, the girlfriend thing, when they sit down, I'm trying to understand because I'm like, when they stand up, she doesn't appear to be taller than him. There is something about when they sit down and she like is over him. It's so weird to me. Because I'm like, is he just like slumped down in his seat instead of sitting up tall? Like it's almost like she like cuffing him a little bit. I don't know, I don't like it. But whatever. But I don't know. I don't know if Casey mama not feeling home girl. Maybe that's why she let the sister do all the talking because of all the stuff floating around. And the mama said, I can't sit up here and lie on TV, so I'm just let you say what you want to say. Cause I don't know. It just looked off to me. It just looked a little bit off. But again, maybe his mama just, she's trying to take it all in. Maybe she's just trying to take it all in. She just, I don't know. She just looked annoyed to me. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Cause they'll be out of the villa, and we gonna be able to see if this what this relationship gonna do. Honestly, we got the Dylan and Kenzie, and I can literally tell you, I mean, I just don't care. I don't. Ever since Kenzie did the whole thing with Melanie and Corbin, I just been off her. It's just been a chop for me. Chop chop, throw in the trash, get her out of here. 'Cause it was just so weird. So all I know is her. Let me see. Do I even remember? It was her mama, I think, and her brother. And then it was, because I definitely don't care about Dylan. So who was with Dylan? I don't know. Did I even fast forward? I might even fast forward that part. I think it might have been his brother and his mama. Yeah, brother and his mama, and Kenzie got a video from her dad, which I'm not really sure why she got a video from her dad. Nobody else got a video from any other family member. But whatever. So that's pretty much that on that. Because again, I didn't really care about that. Next up, we have Kata's mom. I'm like, this has got to be the longest day ever. Like, I know that people be so excited to see their families, but the fact that you have 6 couples and then each one has to come in at a different time, I think I would be so annoyed. Anyways, back to our regular scheduled program. Um, so now we have Kata's mom, and me and Kata's mom have the same name, Erica, and she spells her name like mine. I said, okay, I see you, Erica. And we have her sister, she's a pretty girl. And then, of course, we have Zach's brother, Charlie, who was on last season of Love Island, who definitely did not make it very far. And then we have um, his sister. I will say that all three of them definitely, you could look, if you just looked across the room, you could be like, they're all related. Excuse me. You would definitely know that they're all related. I did like that. Um, when they told their especially when they told their family that they were exclusive, and the mom was like, "What is that?" I'm like, "See, Kata, like, you know, is everybody is not everybody don't understand. Everybody just don't understand. So you're gonna have to get over it." But his sister did point out the no. I don't think they did that. I don't. Did they do that in front of each other? I can't remember. I definitely know when they split off. So we'll go to when they split off. I like how Zach's sister basically was like, with the I love you stuff and the joking, the hideaway stuff, like, and he's like, well, I don't love her, but I feel like I could, or whatever it was he was saying, and she was like, basically, are you scared of commitment? Like, I'm like, yeah, because who play like you are too old to be running around here playing with the word love. The craziest thing I heard somebody say today, I literally heard this man say that he falls in love fast and like he can say I love you like after a week. I was like, ew. If I ever encountered someone and they told me that they fall in love quickly and they just like dropping the love bomb on, not love bombing, but just dropping the word love on people that they're only like getting to know or casually dating, or even if you just started dating, like, don't be telling me you love me because you don't love me yet. To be talking about, and then you like, well, if it don't work out, you think he said like something like, if it doesn't work out, then I can just move on to the next one and fall in love again. I'm like, what? I don't think you're really falling in love, but hey, that's something for another day. I don't know. That was weird to me. Um, and so her parents I mean, Kata's mom and sister pretty much, they like him. Like I said, they do point out like a few things that they didn't really like that he said, but they can't deny that Kata seems really happy. She's always laughing. They seem to be having, have a good time with each other. And again, maybe, and I don't know, maybe because Zach has an accent, I don't always hear what he says. But yeah, it just be because they're another laughing couple. But I do feel like he be saying stuff sometimes, but I don't be hearing because I really don't be listening through the accent. But sometimes Casey and TT, they just be like, just like when they was talking about the girlfriend, like, I'm a girlfriend. Like, okay, whatever. But anyways, yes. So they're all happy. Then we get Melanie's and Sincere, the doozy. I'm like, of course they saved them for last. So we have Melanie's mom and her sister, and we have Sincere's dad and his brother. Um, Baby, from the moment they sat down, the people was on his ass. The sister was like, pew, 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 pew. Then the daddy came back with, like, it was, they was on Sincere's ass. They was on his ass. They was on his head top. They was on everything. They was not playing with him. The daddy said, "No, we don't move and shake like it's home. And if you do, baby, you do that behind closed doors. You don't put that on Front Street for the whole world to see." The daddy said, "No, we don't do that." I said, "Damn." Sincere just looked like, because I was like, he probably was expecting some of it, but for you to hear it from her and then your daddy getting in your ass too, yeah. I was like, he don't know what to say. Melanie looked shocked because, of course, leading up to this, she was like, my mom is forgiving and da da da. So then when they split off, like, she was like telling her sister, like, oh my God, like, you never like come at me like that. Like, you never come like so hard. I guess she was saying, like, you've never come so hard at her about a man. Um, and so of course she starts to get emotional. Her sister like pours into her, basically like, he not shit. Basically, he not shit. He not gonna be shit. It's basically in the grand scheme of things, is what to say. He not changing. You don't deserve this. They're crying. She's crying. The mama speaking Spanish. Um, but I mean, again, I knew that they wasn't going. I just knew she wasn't going to. Part of the problem that people don't understand is that this is Love Island. Did Sincere move sneaky? Absolutely. But what they experience in there is something totally different from the outside world. So I'm like, when these people are like, oh, Melody, she is going to have to experience Sincere in the real world for her to be like, okay, yeah, I'm not effing with it. It's just that she can't, because it's because of the environment that they're in, and the environment is set up for you to kiss on people, to this with people. It's set up that way. I just think like she said, she has to see it through. Like, she would always be thinking, what if? That's why I said she's gonna have to get. I knew she was gonna have to get out and see it through before making a complete decision on. Um, I'm glad that she's not rushing into feeling like, okay, you need to commit to me and you need to this, you need to that. You just gotta let it flow. Because that's the only thing. That's the only thing that Sincere can do, is put his best foot forward and then time. That's it. You have had to, because the thing is that the only thing different that he should have done is not have been leading the other women on. Him exploring those other women was perfectly fine. Even if you wanted to kiss them, it was perfectly fine. But the way you led them on to make them think that you were going to pick them when you knew you weren't going to pick them. So, but yeah. So, the daddy, even his little brother was like, I understand that you wanted to experience, but baby, you went all in. You was just all in with everybody. Like daddy said, you just lost your mind. You got all these beautiful women out here. So that's all he can contribute to, is you just came out here and lost your mind. I said, no, that's right, daddy. Get him. Get him. I said, baby, they had so much going on under that. I ain't seen them take no picture. They said we'll skip on the picture. No, thank you. I said, honey. Um, so that concludes Family Day. We don't really get to see like a conversation with Melanie and Melanie and Sincere after that. They pretty much hugged, and then it was like the look in her eyes. I was like, wonder what she's thinking. But that was pretty much it. And then the girls are getting ready for the evening, and she pretty much lets them know, honey, her sister came in ready to pop Sincere in his asses. Like the sister was locked, loaded, locked, however you say it. The sister was loaded, pretty much. She was loaded, she was ready to go. She was just like, she never seen her sister like that before. So you have her, Melanie, Anaya, and Trinity talking, and Melanie's just letting them know like what her sister said, and all of that. And then Anaya, she steps up to say like, her mom told her that basically she didn't feel like she was being the best friend to Melanie, and so Anaya goes into telling her like, you deserve so much better, and you're beautiful, and you deserve someone that's not going to talk to you that way, and all these things. And like Melanie said, I don't know how we go from Team Sincere. Like, that's all I've been hearing from everybody in here is Team Sincere, Team Sincere. And now you're telling me something else. And she's just like, my mind is like all over the place. Exactly. That's why I'm like, I just feel like people should just let Melanie figure this out. She's a big girl. She will get it figured out. Again, I don't know if she's had her heart broken before, but unfortunately, every woman will experience some type of heartbreak at some moment in their life. And unfortunately, Melanie is just going to have to get out and see. And if I pray that Sincere saw himself. I pray that Sincere's dad was able to because again, it's just about being honest. It's just about being honest. If you decide at some point down this line where you get out that Melanie is not the one that you want to be with, have an honest conversation with her about that and what that looks like moving forward for you guys. Don't try to sit up here and have another chick or have another chick over here and then thinking you're gonna run back to Melanie. So hopefully that's all you can hope for. You hope that people go through things, experience things, and change. That's the only way people become better. Is that they go through things and see how they handle things, and then you have to change it for the next time. So that goes for Sincere and that goes for Melanie. So again, I just feel like there's just too much on her. She has to be the one to make the decision. And I think people just need to leave her alone. We do see that they do go and talk. And while they're talking, you have Anaya and Trinity talking. And, they do kind of talk about like maybe we weren't so maybe we were a little lenient on him about everything that he had done. They do agree that he is a good person. So that is again one thing that you constantly hear people say, that he's a good person. So again, it's just like, okay, so are you a good person? You got put in this position, and then this is how you reacted. Because again, I don't really listen to stories of exes because we always have exes, and people want to come out and say this, and that. Like, whatever. You're an ex. Nobody cares what you went through. I mean, when y'all go together? When you was in college? Like, again, who cares? When you go together? When you was in high school? Nobody cares. Okay? Again, we're talking about 30, 40-year-old people. That's different because you don't have time to actually get out here in the real world and like date. For real date. So, um, yeah. So again, everybody says that. I lost my train of thought. That he's a good person. So again, Sincere can only the only thing that he can do from this point is to continue to work on himself moving forward and move a different way. That is the only way. Um, so they say that, you know, they do understand like people, saying what they're saying, but also they're not in there with them. They don't see what they see when it comes to Melanie and Sincere. So again, that's the angle that they're talking from. Again, we have a bird's eye view where we see a little bit of snippets of these people in their bad moments. And so they get to see everything. So I just think that people should give Melanie a little bit more grace as far as allowing her to just work through what she needs to work through. Like it is what it is. And, she pretty much tells Sincere that, he has a lot of making up to do and it's not going to be easy. And he says that he knows, and she lets him know, like, you're going to have to make it up to me and my family. I agree because, again, you disrespected her in front of millions of people to see. So you're going to have to show her family that you are worthy to. That word worthy now definitely applies to Sincere because you do have to work hard to be able to gain that trust back for her to just be able to be like, oh, okay, he told me this, I believe that. So we'll see. And like she said, she is going to go with what she feels, which again, everyone should know that. It doesn't matter. Anaya's not a bad friend. Trinity's not a bad friend. Because at the end of the day, Kate is not a bad friend. Melanie was going to do what she wanted to do. No matter what. It doesn't matter what her mom says. It doesn't matter what her sister says. She's going to do what she wants to do because she wants to be able to see this relationship through. So that's on Melanie, not anybody else. I don't know why people are making that everyone else's problem. So, I don't know. So that's kind of like where we left off. Well, Melanie just let him know you have to whip it together, my boy. Whip it together. Um, so that is pretty much it for this episode of Love Island. Um, I am thinking about reviewing Big Brother because that also started tonight. I absolutely love Big Brother. I have been watching Big Brother for many of years, and I even wanted to go on Big Brother, but I don't think I could ever live. I don't think I could ever be confined to a house like that. And then sometimes the people don't always be like clean. Like I'm a really clean person, so um, I just don't even feel like I could handle it. But I love Big Brother. I used to watch the feeds all the time. Now that I'm a little older, I don't really have time because I be trying to sleep. So I may have time to try to watch them feeds. But yes, so I will be thinking of reviewing Big Brother. So if you like Big Brother, please come back and listen to my reviews. Again, thank you for listening. Please subscribe to my channel. Leave any comments, please. And make sure you're liking up the video. Please subscribe. Thank you. Y'all have a good night.